Testing, 1, 2, test. All right, so let's see what we got this morning over here on the low flow scanner. We have AXIL up $11, 121%, 7 million shares. Behind that, we have WOK with 24%, only 23 cents. We have GLXG, 18%, PPBT, 16 or 17%. Let's look at the higher floats. Basically, we got ATPC up 103%. So let's go do our due diligence. And actually, before we go do our due diligence, let's go jump out to the trade journal to see how this month is going. So this month, I have taken 5 trades. All of them are green trades here. HTT or not H, QTTB, H2, EKSO, FULC, and MNTS from yesterday. And so this is what the calendar is looking at right now. So it's kind of been taking little swipes at the market, incrementally making a little bit more. But we got like 2.5 weeks left, pretty much in the month. So a little less than 2.5, but we'll see how that goes. Just been doing my due diligence on every trade, and that's about it. Finding the structure, and y'all know how I draw structure. Just looking for ideas that could hold until it's not could, but it is holding. So that's about it. I have been taking 1 trade per day pretty much. So that's that, but I haven't really been pushing the edge of anything, just 1 trade per day. All right, let's go over here to the main. Let's go look at Axial. What's going on with Axial? So it looks like it started at $5.18 and it gapped up here to $8.03 and went all the way up to 1504 or 1501. All right, so let's go look at why it's up. Looking on the TOS news, it says Axel Brands announces national retail distribution agreement with Walmart. And that is repeated 3 times there. So distribution agreement with Walmart to launch the company's X30LT in-ear hearing protection plugs across Walmart's U.S. stores starting February 2026. Okay. So for the float, is looking like 3.45 million. More heavily held by insiders, but still institutions are in there at 21%. Let's notate that. So get that notated. Else. All right, let's go over to the profile. Axel Brands out of Beverly Hills, California. I mean, California has just been on the map this past 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on over there, but they've been just, everything's been just popping. Beverly Hills, California. It has 10 employees. Sector is technology, consumer electronics. Okay. And profile. So Axel Brands Inc. engages in the manufacture, marketing, distribution, and sale of hearing and audio enhancement and protection of products in the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, and Asia. The company operates through hearing enhancement and protection and skin or hair and skincare segments. It provides earplugs, earmuffs, and earbuds and outdoor speakers under the Axial brand. Okay, so it's all about ears. Here. Ears. Oh, they got skin and health. I guess it's ears, skin, and health. But they do have several devices. Let's see, passive ear protections. It serves the sporting goods, recreational, military, federal agent, law enforcement, tactical, and industrial sectors. The company was formerly known as Revive Pro Care Company and changed its name to Axel Brands in February 2024. Axel Brands was incorporated in 2015 and is headquartered in Beverly Hills, California. Okay, so keywords, just ear, skin, health, skin health. All right, so there's my notes. Activate. Got our notes. We know the float. Yeah, the float 3.45. They got the deal with Walmart. They didn't get any money, but they're just getting the opportunity to distribute through Walmart. So I mean, that is kind of good. At one point, but you know, there's a lot of things that Walmart sells. We don't know if they're going to do good or not. And plus, they're going into Walmart starting in February 2026, which is a little bit into the future, which, I mean, does give a little bit of chance for more maturity of the company these next 2 months. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Walk is the next one. WOK does not have any catalyst on the day. So don't really, not too worried about that. Let's go look at his profile. Okay. Okay. Now, let's get to this whole walk thing they're talking about. So WOK. Okay, walk. This is Work Medical Technology Group Limited. Work Medical Technology Group Limited, together with its subsidiaries, manufactures and sells medical products in China. All right, I can stop there. Let's go ahead and notate China up there. Probably going to be blocked. China, and then what we got? Based in this city of China, has 216 employees. So they do have people working there. It's healthcare, medical devices. Let's go look at the float. It has 58 million shares traded. So that's where it looks that the eyes are right now. Let's go ahead. The float is under 1 million. And I'm going to test if this thing is blocked or not. It's probably blocked. But it doesn't have news anyway, so it doesn't really matter whether it's blocked or not. We do know that this week has been a crazy week for things without news, just doing stuff. But I have not traded anything without news since the month started, or even before the month. Actually, everything that I've traded has been with catalyst. Okay, China, boom, boom, boom. Statistics profile. Keywords, probably, and we could see a trickle down effect. So we probably do need to see the keywords in here. Medical consumables, offers disposable medical devices such as medical face masks, artery compression, tourniquets. Nothing sticking out though. Face masks. So basically, just medical equipment, and devices. Okay. Let me test and see if this thing is blocked over here. So let me go to 1 and I will try to buy the bid. Yep, blocked. I knew it. Everything that's Chinese is blocked. So WOC is blocked. Probably a good thing. Next one is GLXG. GLXG up 19%. We'll look at this one. I'm not even gonna worry about these little cheaper ones. This I don't know. I might just look into these just to see if it's any topic that these are riding on, so we can look for that topic throughout the market. But GLXG, that GLXG is out of Hong Kong. Galaxy Payroll Group Limited, through its subsidiaries, provides payroll outsourcing, employment, and consultancy and market research services. It has operations in Hong Kong, Macau, the People's Republic of China, Taiwan, Japan, Australia, Thailand. Okay, all the Asian countries basically. All right, so that is out of Hong Kong. Go ahead and notate that. Founded in 2013, has 31 employees, industrials, staffing in sector, industrial staffing, and it's just selected. Okay. Employees, let's go and look at their statistics. Over here on the statistics, we have a float of under 1 million, heavily held by insiders. Okay. 69% insiders. That one could be a wacky one throughout the day because of that. Okay. Go to the next one. My notes on that one. What's the next one? The next one, YMG, that's under 10 cents. So I'm just not I'm not trying to do that. Under 10 cents, waste my time with that. Nope. PPBT though, I mean it's 88 cents. It did go up to $1.06. I see that it says it reported positive preclinical data demonstrating multi-arm anti-tumor activity across 2 captain whatever specific antibodies. Okay. So I mean it does have news on this. It's only up 6% though. So not great. Let's just look at its profile here. So EPT. Okay, so the float is, oh my goodness, huge float. 848.52 million. Shares outstanding. See, I don't like mismatches like this. Shares outstanding is 9.03. Your float is supposed to be under that. How's your float 800? Or yeah, that's a mismatch. So that is a big red flag right there. Don't like any of that. Notate that. Okay, that was that. So let's go to the profile. Purple Biotech, clinical stage company, focuses on developing therapies to overcome tumor immune evasion. Okay, it has 9 employees. Healthcare biotech, 9 employees. Oh, it's Israeli. It's Israeli. Oh boy, that is a red flag right there just by itself. Israel. So that is a no-go for me. Take that. All right, so I could just stop there on that one. All right, next ones. Let's see. So low flow, we still got the same ones up here. Axel, Walk. Walk has 61 million shares traded, so a lot of eyes there. On the higher floats, though, we have only 2 that are looking green, but I don't think either one of these. Let's see. Does this one have something? New next door survey reveals key holiday neighborhood data about recommendations. That's not great news. I don't really care about that. This is just a survey and what it found of all of this stuff. So that's not something that I'm just gonna kill over. But yeah, those are our high floats, those are our low floats. So high floats, ATPC leading with 187 million shares traded with a flat chart. How do you have that much? You went from 9 cents up to 20 cents and you got 187 million. You know how thickly traded this is? To just be sitting on the 13 with all this volume coming in, I just don't understand it. But anyway, no day one catalyst on that one. I actually want to see if this is Chinese. TPC. It is out of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So it's an Asian company. It's probably not blocked because it's not Chinese. Let me see if it's blocked. It is blocked. So yeah, ATPC is blocked. So Malaysia block, trading block. Okay. So that is notated on ATPC. And then the other one, well, we got 2. One just added on here, CRBP. And it says Corbis Pharmaceuticals reports results from phase 1A study of oral CB1 inverse agonist CBR for the treatment of obesity. Now we have seen obesity do some things, so I'm not sure I want to count this one all the way out on CRBP, but we'll see. Over here on the chart, came from 1027, has been trading around 11. did a big drop down to 8 and back up to 1461. Let's do our due diligence on this one. So CRBP. Orbis Pharmaceuticals Holdings. This one's out of Norwood, Massachusetts, so U.S. based. Was incorporated in 2009. So biopharmaceutical company develops products to defeat serious illnesses. It has an antibody drug conjugate, targets expression of that or cancer. So it's got cancer in there. So let's go ahead and notate some of these keywords. Cancer. What else? And the keywords that I'm looking for is kind of like what I look for on the daily chart. Something that people can quickly read and not dive too deep in. Because some of these words like mono, methyl, and all of this, people don't understand that. So I'm looking for easy keywords that are easily understandable in these profiles. Because most people don't read. Anybody that makes it to the profile is actually, they're really going way beyond, because most people don't read. So beyond the headline, if they're reading beyond that, what's the easiest words that they can see in these descriptions, in these news updates, and all of this? So that's what I'm looking for. The top level, easy to read words. So cancer is in there, monoclonal antibodies, block cancer cells, treatment of solid tumors. We got tumors in there. A highly peripherally restricted cannabinoid. So that's type 1 receptor, treatment of obesity. Let's see. It has a license agreement with Gerin Discovery LLC to develop and commercialize the licensed products, including the Gerin library of approximately 600 compounds and multiple issued and pending patent filings. Company was incorporated in 2009, based in Norwood, Massachusetts. So let's go ahead and grab that location. So Norwood, Massachusetts. And healthcare, 28 employees. Go look at that float. Float looking like 12 point. Okay, so that's a little bit lower float. 12.16. The outstanding shares is 17, so that makes sense. Very heavily held by institutions. Okay, be that on in there. That may be one that I'm watching because of that catalyst, that obesity. I've seen obesity go a couple of times, but it's been on lower floats, much lower floats. But this one isn't just a high float. I mean, it's 12 million in the float, 17 outstanding shares. So maybe one that I definitely watch. I'm gonna throw that on watch over here. It has 1 million shares traded. Let's go back over to the low floats. Nothing has changed over here. Axel coming on down. That's what I was saying. Axel, the news on it just getting the Walmart, deal or whatnot. That's just, put Walmart in here. Walmart distribution deal. Supposed to be going to effect February 2026. Got a little bit of time right there. But yeah, that news wasn't as great. I like CRBP a little bit better with the obesity news, so I'm definitely gonna keep an eye over there. And I haven't really seen anything else that I put on watch. So on my own watch, the only thing I got here is CRBP. Looking for volume to continue to come in here. ATR is 80 cents. ATR probability right now is 7.79%. So the closer that this probability gets to zero, it's a calculator that I built. Basically, the closer it gets to zero, the better chance it has of covering its ATR. So it has ATR of 7.79. Most of the stocks that I trade are below like 20%. So from 20 to 0%. Really lower than that. 15 to 0% is what I usually trade. But is how likely is it to actually make its ATR. So if the ATR is 80 cents, can I get 20 cents? Can I get 30 cents, 40 cents, whatever? So that's just a calculator that I've experimented with and I've been using for a while. So yeah, but that's my calculation. I don't know if anybody else uses that, but it is what it is. What's the probability of it completing an ATR rotation in a day? Anyway, so right now, waiting on that one to get more volume. The things that are kind of moving a little bit, or not moving a little bit, capturing the attention of people. 63 million up here. We need to see these two fall. WALK and ATPC, they really need to fall. CRBP all the way back down to 0%, but that's okay. They're gonna keep an eye on it. Watch it throughout the day. Let's go look at the daily chart on CRBP. CRBP, interesting fall off. So it came up here to 821, gapped up. Let me go look at and see if it has reverse splits, because this kind of looks weird. Being up to $60, was it ever up to $60? We will CR. Reverse splits. Come on now, this thing's taking forever to load. Come on, bro. All right, well, still waiting on that. I have to restart this. It's tripping. That's the simple question. All right, let's try it again. Okay, there it goes. There we go. Okay, so CRBP, it did a 1 for 30 reverse split in February 14th, 2023. It's we got some new ones popping up here. ACIU just popped in, $4.18. It's up 50%, and it just caught up with CRBP. Looks like that's the only split that it had effective date before market. So it did a 1 for 30 February 14, 2023. So that's not bad. That's the only one it did. So one split in its history on CRBP. I'm gonna keep that one on watch. Let me edit and edit that. So sector hasn't really had to split a lot. So actually that means that these moves are real then, right? If it was February, whatever, February, can't activate the whole thing. Okay, February 14th. So that means all of these other moves are kind of real. Where's 2023? Oh, so it didn't do a split till right here. That's crazy. So all of this is real movement. CRB went up to $60. Okay, I'm definitely gonna keep that one on watch. CRBP. This other one that popped up in the higher floats is ACIU. Let's go do our due diligence on this one. It does have some type of something. Let's see, immune positive. So it says AC immune positive. Interim phase 2 data on ACI support potential slowing of progression of Parkinson's disease. And it repeats that news. So let's go do our due diligence. ACIU. So one that I'm gonna be watching today is CRBP and ACIU. ACIU already passed CRBP in volume though, so I would have to see ACIU crash out at this point before I touch CRBP. But let's look at the float over here. So the float on this one is 40 million in the float. Shares outstanding is 100 million, so that makes sense. It is more heavily held by insiders, but still institutions in on this one as well. We'll notate that. Oops, wrong. Notes. Notate that. Shares outstanding 100 mil. As catalyst on the day. We just need to see how good or bad this catalyst is. All right. So let's go out to statistics or profile. All right, so in the profile, AC Immune SA, a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company, covers, designs, and develops medicines and therapeutics and diagnostics products for the prevention of treatment of neurodegenerative diseases associated with protein misfolding. The company's super antigen and morphomer platforms are designed to regenerate biologics and small molecules which selectively interact with misfolded proteins. Okay, so keywords. Let's look for some keywords here. So misfolded proteins won't be one, but let's see. Monoclonal antibodies. So we got Alzheimer's disease, slow Alzheimer's disease. Copy that. We got I don't even know what this word is. Simorinab. I don't know. Let's see what else they got out here. This is out of Switzerland. Lausanne, Switzerland, too. Any other keywords other than Alzheimer's? Neurodegenerative diseases. That could be, but I don't know. All right, so let's get the location. It has 133 employees, so they are possibly have a bigger business. So I'm definitely gonna keep that on in mind. They got plenty of employees. They don't have like 6 employees working on this. That is a good sign. So ACIU, I'm gonna keep that one on watch, and I'm gonna also keep CRBP on watch. Anything else I need from this one that I did not get? Don't think so. Okay. So I got my notes out there on that one. Put this one on watch on ACIU. Up 45% with 3 million shares traded. ATR of 25 cents. And look at this. The ATR probability. Let me go to my on watch. ATR probability at a 9. So it's a little bit higher than CRBP, but still down there. So I likes that. I likes it. And let's say that I pull, let me show you the difference from when I pull one of these low floats that does not have an ATR that is great. So let's just say PPBP. I pulled that one down. Actually, some of these got to actually update. Let's see. YGMZ, is that one? So here's one like YGMZ. It's 6 cents. Look at this ATR probability. 647%. I would never touch that. Never touch it. What else? GL, what is GLGXG or whatever? This one, once this ATR, so it's at 34 cents. I mean, that's not bad. It's at 10.87. So Walk, 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 809%. Wouldn't touch it. So yeah, I like those lower percentages for sure. And even if they're like Tesla and like AMD, they have like 2%. They're so close to zero, it's not even funny. They're probably going to cover their ATR in a day, which makes them more reliable, especially for range plays. All right, so we have anything new popping in? No, not really. So we have the two that I'm gonna be kind of keeping an eye on: ACIU and CRBP. Maybe something else new pops up, but it's going to have to get more volume than these to be interesting. But none of the low floats I'm super in love with right now. So ACIU coming on down. Let's go look at the daily chart on ACIU. Daily chart on ACIU. We can see it's just been trading around these ranges. It went up to 447. So this little area right here, right at $4, is where it's kind of finding a little bit of triple top or something. It's got another level, 427, then $5 up there. So a couple levels. This one I would consider a peak. So 5 is a peak daily level. Daily level. Okay. Price level 2. These are just possibles. I don't know what they want to do. Possible daily levels. And let's see, another possible. Actually, let me just duplicate. That right on down, right at $4. Okay, so that's where we are right there. Let me back this up just a little bit, see if we can see anything else. Okay, so yeah, $5 peak level. Then beyond that, nothing really obvious. So beyond that, we got what, 2021 back here. I'm not too interested in that. All right, so let's continue looking. We've done our due diligence. I found the two that I'm probably going to be watching today, unless something else pops out. Something's really going to have to ramp up, because for me, later on in the day, if you're not leading the day, like you're not leading in pre-market, you got to come with it on that volume. If what you're competing with has 10 million shares of volume, 20 million shares of volume, I'm not touching you. You know, I want to see you get that volume up, unless you just got some crazy good news that I'm like, I cannot miss this. But until I see that, I'm good. ACIU formed the top up here at the 447s, and we'll see how it ends up trading. It is above the ATR highs from yesterday. So ATR highs are right here at $3 flat, 85 cents away from that. Let's look at CRBP and see where it is according to ATR. It is right on its ATR, $11, and then ATR low down here at 946. So right on it. Right on it. See if it can make any moves to better itself. But no clear structure on CRBP. That's the next thing I'm looking for. We've done our due diligence. Now we need to see clear structure. The lows down here, 267. And we're going to see. Looking for, oh, let's pop over to the news real quick. I did go over my trades for this month earlier. I guess I'll do it again since we got some time here. But here are my trades. I have 5 trades on the month. All of them are green. Basically, the thing that I've really been, oh yeah, long list of errors, traded Beat yesterday. I saw Beat. The only thing is Beat had, to me, it had worse news than the one that I traded MN at TS, but it still had news on the day, which was the heart attack detection. So I was like, man, you know, I had to choose between heart attack detection and the US contract that MNTS had got. They were getting a couple $1 billion, or they were getting exposure to the money. And so I was like, today the Fed is cutting rates. I wonder, is this government type deal going to be profitable for me? And it was. But it's been a long time since I've traded under $1. MENTS was 90 cents when I bought. I got 2,600 shares at 90 cents, and it went up to 94 cents, and I just sold it all. But it did end up going up to $1. I just wasn't about to hold it, so took my profit, $121 on that, and just got on down because I was like, I'm cool. But yeah, these are the trades for the month. Most months, I thought that Wednesday was my cursed day, but it just seems like some days that don't have catalysts, I just need to avoid, because the Tuesdays of this month they just had weak catalysts or no catalysts or things just moving without catalysts. So avoided the Tuesdays of this month and actually traded on Wednesdays and was green on those catalysts on Wednesdays. So that's not, I mean, that hasn't been the case, but I guess it could be because I'm doing more due diligence per morning. I'm deep diving on these stocks for real. Like I'm not trying to go in blind. I want to know the Carfax. And so that's what I'm doing during pre-market. Finding that and seeing if I can find any initial structure during pre-market as well. All of these trades have actually been during intraday. So, I pre-market, I've just been kind of tasting the water, waking up, wiping my eyes, getting some popcorn if things are just unpredictable. But all of these trades have been during intraday. All right, let's jump over to Yahoo Finance and see if I can find any recent or relevant news. Um, your average was 125 on beat. Yeah, and the end of the day, I don't know, did you hold it all the way to the end of the day when it actually popped up there, or were you in there early on the day? Because I remember, let me see, beat. Let's go back up on beat here. So go to the 15-minute. Okay, so this was it. So beat swung down here at 125. Oh yeah, and if you held that, you had a pretty good trade until. Now I was gone by this time. Like I was like, I had already traded MNTS and all of that. MNTS ended up going to $1 a couple of times and giving a couple of dips, but that 125 buy was probably perfection. I didn't need that trade. I was like, yeah, but of course I knew that it was assistive AI monitoring for heart attacks and heart attack precursors. So I was like, man, that's good news. But the Fed rate cuts, the U.S. contracts, that kind of overclouded my head on MNTS. So MNTS here was the one that I got into right in this little section here. Let me scroll in here. Oh, where art thou? Okay, so MNTS saw it come down here, made a bottom, and actually let me go to the 1 minute. 1 minute make more sense. Okay, so this is where I saw this bottom building here. And this was the trade that I took here. Where is my there was a trend that started right in here, right? And I actually took this trade. I got an average price. I bought a lot at 90 cents. I bought 1,500 shares. And when it dropped down here to 83, I bought the rest of them. And so it brought my original average was like 92-ish on 1,500 shares. It came down. I bought some more, got to 2,600 shares. And when it came back through and tried to go for $1, I sold at the ATRs up here at around 94 cents. It dipped back down to 88, went back up to 95, dipped back down to 88 again, and then went all the way to 104. So I was gone by this time. I was done trading like right around when it came down here. I was like, okay, well, it's back to 90 cents. I'm done. But it did end up going back up there to 104. So it is what it is. I found the structure, took the trade, and that was it. But yeah, I like that trade. It just made sense to me, and that's the only reason I took it. Oh, you don't. Oh my gosh. Okay, so MNTS, my bad. So on the 1 minute, here are my charts. So it went up here to this high during pre-market of 120, sunk down here, made this bottom. And I saw it come down to the ATRs. So I was like, okay, let me see how it holds these ATRs. and it came down here, it came up, and I started buying right here. I bought 1,500. Let me zoom in a little bit because this is making my eyes hurt. So let me do this instead, since this was where I was trading. Oh, wait, nope, it's too big of a move there. Okay, right here. So we saw it come down here. It hit this ATR. And when it hit this ATR, I was like, okay, this is where people should be buying on a good catalyst. So it came down, hit this. I did not buy down here. When it came up here though, I was like, ooh, let me go ahead and start getting in. So I got in for this little pop through 90 with 1,500 shares. So I thought it was about to go. It ended up coming, swinging back down, but holding this previous level. So I added in here, and brought my level down to like 90 cents, and then it popped. So it went right on through and got up here to the 96s, and this is where I sold because these ATRs, I kind of like to respect them, and I guess more people did as well, and so it sold off here, but I was out up here with my little shares, right around 94. I really took a little bit up here, but I took majority around 94 because I was scared it was gonna drop, and it did drop. So because of the ATRs, and it turned around, came back to this, tested again, kind of, but I didn't get back in on these dips. I just was like, oh well. I took my profit and got on out of the way. But yeah, that was it on that trade. But this one gave an earlier move because it had a little bit hotter news with the whole U.S. contract and the Fed rate cuts. All right, let's go over here to the low flows are still looking the same. Nothing has changed over there. The ones that I'm still going to be keeping an eye on is CRBP today and ACIU. ACIU going towards 6 million shares traded. And let's see if we can find any more structure here. So ACIU, let me move this a little bit. ACIU hit a top here of 447. Has a bottom down here of 320. So this could be one idea, but not a certified idea here. It is above its ATR highs. And its news was it was slowing the progression of Parkinson's disease. And I put Alzheimer's because Alzheimer's was in its actual profile, but let me put Parkinson's as well. Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's. So see how that does. And biotechs have been kind of hot this month too, so I'm kind of leaning towards those if I can find some structure. But right now we have a little idea. Maybe it breaks this down, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. CRBP continue to just flatline. I don't like the structure on CRBP flatlining like this. I like ACIU better. And other people like it better too because it's got 7 million shares traded, and CRBP barely got 500,000 shares since we looked at it. So ACIU looking like a favorite. Yeah, long list of errors. I understand. I understand. A lot of people say that, but I'm gonna do me because what I'm doing is working. So, you know, I'm gonna do me. And if the catalyst leads me to find something with price action before it gets to price action, that's even better. That's even better. But yeah, ACIU I'm looking at though. Let's see. Let me read some of these chats. So 155. Oh yeah, you saw way up there on beat 155. This one has an ATR of 25 cents. I wonder, can it retest any of these, like a $4 or anything like that? See some true structure first though. Yeah, I got your long list. I got your long list. Okay. Well, that thing dropped through the ground. RZLT dropped from $10. Was that $10 down to $1.17? That's got to be a reverse split or something. That's, I don't know what happened to their company. Halted results. Nope, this isn't a split. It just failed. They failed to meet their primary and secondary endpoints. Fell from $10 down here to $1. That's insane. Okay, Blink, BLNK, Blink charging prices, public offering. So public offering, not too interested in that on Blink. Oracle is down 12%. Woo! What happened, Oracle? Oracle is down 12% on the day. There's got to be some news on that. Gotta be. Okay. Oracle stock sinks as earnings revive AI payoff worries. Wow. Insane. 12% drop on the stock that big after people have been buying and buying. That's a wild fall. Bitcoin recovers ground after dipping below 90,000. Lilly next gen drug tops Z-bound for weight loss in trial. So that's another weight loss catalyst there. Why tariff revenue just dipped for the first time under Trump. Companies are just now tallying the hit from U.S. shutdown. Investors say Musk SpaceX debut will be craziest IPO ever. Gemini gets key CFTC sign off as firm eyes prediction market. Okay. Amazon plans new 1 hour pickup service in stores. Terra US creator Do Kwon to be sentenced over 40 billion crypto collapse. What is this, Terra? Okay. Wow. Needs to be sentenced. Paramount's Mid-East backing likely runs deeper than 24 billion. They got Mid-East backing from Paramount. I know it's been a kind of like a little war zone going for Warner Brothers, because at first Netflix was going to buy them. Then all these people came out of the woodwork with more offers. So, you know, they're kind of at war over Warner Brothers. I didn't think it was going to be like that, but I guess they all want the smoke. Understanding the Fed's rate cut, Fed's rate decision. Do we want higher low interest rate? Netflix or Paramount? Hollywood shutters over Warner Brothers Discovery sale. Runware raises 50 million Series A to help make image video generation easier for developers. Okay. All right. Well, we got a lot to look at. I think I've pretty much zoned in on what I'm going to be looking at on the day. One minute. So we're seeing a possible idea of uptrending. We'll see if that continues, but no clear structure as of yet. This one has 8 million shares traded. I do like the fact that it continues to pump on up. And hopefully, you know, it has ATR of 25 cents, so I'm not looking to get 50 cents off of this thing. But if I could get half of that, if I could get 10 cents, you know, just to put a little bit more equity in the account, I do that. You know, I'm okay. I'm okay with taking profit, especially when I'm already green on the month and on the week. All right. So yeah, we'll continue to watch that. What was the other one I had just looked at? All right, let's see what they're talking about in the news. Option plays, Warner Brothers bidding war, hostile take. What is a hostile takeover? This one's more recent. Let's go to Netflix and Paramount.
Hollywood loves a good wedding story, but the planned marriage between Warner Bros. Discovery and Netflix just got an "I object" by Paramount Skydance. They're sitting in the back row. This is what a hostile takeover looks like in real time. One suitor works through the family, gets approval by the board, that's Netflix. The other carries a big bag of money and makes another proposal. That would be Paramount. And on today's Stocks in Translation, we are breaking down the famed Wall Street hostile takeover. Let's start with the basics. A hostile takeover is an attempt to buy a company that its leaders oppose. The bidder goes around the board of directors straight to the shareholders and says, "Sell to us" instead. If the board then digs in and opposes, that bidder can even try to replace some of the directors who said no. And an important point here, hostile does not mean illegal, just contentious. Think of it as the wedding crasher who knows the marriage license is valid but is willing to make a scene anyway. But none of this is new. Wall Street has been dealing with unwanted suitors for decades. In the 1950s through the 1970s, we had some early raids on undervalued companies. Investors figured out that they could study the books and uncover real estate or brand value that was hidden, then make surprise bids. Then the 1980s hit, and easy debt through junk bonds fueled corporate raiders. The poster child was the late 80s leveraged buyout of RJR Nabisco, sparking the now iconic book Barbarians at the Gate. Cheap high-yield debt meant anyone with a plan and a banker could try to crash a corporate wedding. And fast forward to the 2000s through today, and hostile moves are more targeted. They've tended to become more focused on mega deals and big brands like beer, pharma, tech, and now streaming media. So let's see how this plays out in the stocks. On this 6-month chart here, we have WBD, Paramount, Skydance, and Netflix. The line at the top is for WBD, up roughly 200%. That's what happens when a target becomes the belle of the ball. A friendly deal with Netflix plus a higher hostile bid from Paramount, and suddenly everyone is repricing the dowry. Then take a look at Paramount, the interloper, up about 25% in the middle. Sometimes the wedding crasher gets a pop too, if investors like the strategy or they think the bidder is undervalued. And then there is Netflix, down around 20% at the bottom. This is classic hostile M&A math. The suitor stock often drops because the market knows that someone has to pay. They might issue new stock and dilute existing holders. They might take on more debt and lever up the balance sheet, or they could spend the cash that could have gone to dividends and buybacks. Then you add in integration risk and regulatory risk, and you can see why the suitor's stock could take a hit. This is also where Wall Street makes money. Professional arbitrage desks, they will buy the target below the offer price, sometimes short the bidder, and try to capture the gap if the deal closes. Retail investors can ride along, but you must understand that you're really betting on 3 things all at once. Will the deal close? At what price? And how long will it take? If the wedding gets called off, that pop in the target, it can unwind fast. So what do we watch next in this Hollywood romance? First, watch WBD's stock price versus Netflix and Paramount offers. If the stock trades above the current bids, the market is betting on a higher dowry or a third suitor. If it slips back below, investors are starting to doubt that this wedding happens at all. Then note the board's response and any new defenses. Does WBD stick with Netflix, start negotiating with Paramount, or do they roll out more defenses? You might hear a wonky term called poison pill that keeps the crasher out of the reception hole. And then keep an eye out for antitrust and national security pushbacks. Regulators are going to look very closely at streaming media power, media concentration, and foreign money financing. A hostile takeover can only close if government officials sign off on the marriage license. And finally, watch for signs of higher bids or new suitors. Hostile situations have a way of flushing out every X in the Rolodex. If another media or tech giant decides this is a moment to shoot their shot, that could rewrite the whole story for WBD stock. All in all, hostile takeovers can create sudden winners, surprising losers, and a lot of noise in between. The trick is knowing whether you're catching the bouquet or paying for the open bar. And tune into the Stocks in Translation.
All right, so over here on ACIU, while we were watching that and waiting for structure, look what happened. Fell from $3.50 all the way down here to $3. So yeah, definitely got hit in the mouth. Still up 10% right now, going up towards 10 million shares traded, but definitely fell out of that uptrend back down in here. Still be watching it, but definitely some cheaper prices. Not buying off of this unconfirmed trend, looking for that downtrend, looking for the downtrend for it to attack, and we haven't seen that yet. But right there on the ATR highs there. Let me go back over and look at CRBP, just flat, man. I don't like that. I really do not like that. Let me see if I see anything else with catalyst. So on the low floats, we looked at Axel. Migi is up here, but it has no catalyst on the day. MIGI, no catalyst on the day, so I'm not gonna spend any time looking at that. Looks like, yeah, no catalyst yesterday or just no catalyst. So it is what it is on Migi. MIGI with 2 million shares traded. Walk, 93 million shares traded, but no catalyst. BQ Chinese stock. I know that's a Chinese stock because I've seen it before. GLXG, boom, DCX. And so small caps kind of looking kind of cooked right now. But I'm just gonna continue to watch the ones that I already called out. If I see something else added up here, I'll definitely do my due diligence, especially if it has catalyst. So we will jump on that quite quickly. iRobot. It is 7:13 right now. Interesting. But other than these two, haven't really seen anything else that interests me like that. Have you all seen anything that you are interested in on this morning? Pretty much what I'm seeing. I mean, Migi is up there, but we've seen how choppy some of the. And is Migi is that an Asian stock? Not sure. I think maybe I've seen Migi before. MIGI. Migi is out of Midland, Pennsylvania. Mawson is called Mawson Infrastructure Group Inc. Develops and operates digital infrastructure for digital currency on the Bitcoin blockchain network in the United States. It engages in digital currency as or Bitcoin self mining, customer co-location, and related services, and energy markets, as well as operates data center facilities. So maybe it's just going up because of the data center keyword, maybe because it doesn't have any catalyst. So if it's going to lead the day, well, it has only 3 million shares traded, so it still has a lot of fighting to do to catch up with some of these other ones for sure. We'll see. ACIU hit a bottom right here at the $3 whole dollar level. We'll see how that goes during the day. $10 million shares hit now on ACIU, so now it's breaking that normalcy. A lot of times during pre-market, 10 million shares is a big hump for most stocks, and it's made it to the 10 million. So now it's just the first 10 million is the hardest. We'll see what happens during the day. Anyway, it is almost 7:20. I'm about to hit the road. If I see anything else, I will update you guys in the Discord once I'm done driving, and we'll see if we can pull any profits out of the market. One of the things I haven't been doing really is having to trade on Fridays, because pretty much I've been making everything from Monday through Thursday. So Fridays I have kind of just been Like I look at the market, but it's more of like a foresight for, hey, what's going to happen next week? You know what I mean? Market's usually choppy, usually sideways on Fridays, or it could be a Freaky Friday where there is a large popper, but maybe it has no news or something like that, and it's just one of those I hope I can make my money back type of days. So I haven't really had to trade on Friday a whole lot. So see what I can pull out of the market today, if anything, and then oh wow, ACIU popped all the way back up, huh? All right, well, now we got a little bit of a structure down here to $3, and we'll see if it can eventually today reclaim this 350 level, but the point of control is at 357. Point of control on the 5 minute and 15 minutes are 360 over here and 356. So I go ahead and draw that box. It's a pretty tight box. 360 down to 357. It's 3 cents. 356. Okay. So yeah, very, very tight little box in here. So 356. 60. I will let. That is a very tight box. Over all the time frames, that's where everything's concentrated. That's crazy. But I'll continue watching and looking for an idea for a downtrend, because right now it's not clear. So I mean, we could do this, but it's still kind of bucking the trend there. So I'm not sure what it wants to do there, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna delete that because that's not really a clean trend there. Let's see what else. Okay, so CRBP is popping up a little bit. This was the obesity drug, and like I said, we've seen these biotech and obesity, depression, all of those kind of get a little pump. So I wouldn't completely take this one off of the list, but it just isn't competing volume wise. It's just hitting 3 million shares when ACU is at 10 million shares. So on the fence on that one. Let's see what something new just popped in. CETX just popped in on the low floats. Simtrex, it says it highlights profitability focus, strategic transformation. Okay, it's up 15%, but only 1 million shares traded, so it's got a little bit of work to do. This CETX just popped on the scans. Highlights profitability focus, strategic transformation, and progress toward portfolio progression. All right. This is this ATR high right here at 1525. ATR on it is $1.11. Oh, that's a little that's a little out of range. But that's okay. CTX there. Going up towards, but the higher price it gets, the more that probability will change up to actually make that zone. But it's right there at that ATR high right there. Okay, well, I think I'm just gonna continue watching ACIU and CRBP once I pull up. Hopefully it doesn't do anything crazy before I get back to it. But it is a higher float. Hopefully the low float traders kind of avoid it and trade some of this other stuff that is low floats, the micro floats actually. And they stay over there and let me get my positioning on what I'm looking for. That would be great. But anyway, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, waiting for this one to kind of find a little bottom to play off of. And this is that point of control concentration area between 356, 360, right above the 350s. But if it does go down and become even cheaper, it is what it is, you know. But we'll see. Yep, but I'm about to get out of here for real this time. I always leave like 5 times, so. Oh yeah, well I have other people, yeah, elsewhere as well. That's 100% increase. No, I got other people on other platforms as well. I see all of y'all. So, and all of the chats are combined if they want to talk. Some people just join and they don't talk. They just watch. So that's cool. I just seen another one join up here, which is Pets. PETS just popped up there. 33%. It looks like Silver Cape. What is Silver Cape? To acquire Pet Med. So this is an acquisition. Not too worried about acquisition. But anyway, yeah, I'm about to get on down. Appreciate all of you for tuning in on all of the different platforms. I have YouTube, Kick, Twitch, Facebook, and yeah, I think that's all of them. Yeah, but appreciate all of you for tuning in. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Let's see.